A podcast host spent 3 years designing a pasta shape, not for appearance but to make sauce cling more effectively. From 2018 to 2021, Dan Pashman worked with the New York pasta company Sfoglini. He studied qualities he liked in several existing shapes. The goal was not decoration, it was improving how pasta and sauce work together. Instead of copying one familiar form, he combined those useful qualities into a new structure. It has a flat strip with ruffles set at 90-degree angles. That geometry was meant to help sauce stay with the pasta. The shape was named cascatelli from cascata, the Italian word for waterfall. Time named it one of the best inventions of the year. The 3-year creation became a 5-part podcast series called Mission, Improbable. It records the collaboration and design process. It lets listeners follow how an everyday food became a design project. Traditional luchi could be made without water, with bananas sometimes helping form the dough instead. Luchi is a Bengali deep-fried flatbread made from maida flour, a refined wheat flour. Unlike puri, it uses maida rather than atta. It is commonly served hot with dal or aloo dum, especially during festivals. Ghee may also be added to the dough. The dough is kneaded, shaped into a circle, and fried individually in hot ghee or oil, usually in a karahi pot. Each piece is prepared separately. As oil is spooned over the dough, the luchi fills with air. It is flipped and cooked until golden. It is served hot and fresh. That cooking method connects modern luchi to cascatelli, an earlier dish described in an 11th century Pala medical work. Luchi itself was first attested in a Bengali text from 1660. The record describes flour kneaded with ghee and fried. Emilia Ibáñez scored 40 league goals for Barcelona in 1985-86. Yet finished second in the entire league's scoring race, not second at her club. She played as Barcelona's number 9 and center forward in the Liga Catalana, the women's Catalan league. That position made her the club's main attacking reference in that season. Her 40 goals made her Barcelona's top scorer. Across the entire league, however, she ranked second. Another scorer had more. Barcelona finished fourth in the 1985-86 Liga Catalana. Over the full campaign, even a club-leading striker's total could coexist with a team finishing below the league's top 3 places. The table captured Barcelona's overall league performance, not just one forward's goals. In Barcelona's 1985 Copa Generalitat final victory, Ibáñez scored the only goal. That was a separate competition from the league. Barcelona won that final. The cup gave the club a different victory to celebrate. A single commemorative McDonald's pencil holder led to a Malaysian museum holding more than 80,000 fast food collectibles by 2025. Lee Chun-cheek became interested in collecting in 1978 when he was 17 and friends discussed their collections. 4 years later, he attended the opening ceremony of Malaysia's first McDonald's restaurant. At that ceremony, he received the metal pencil holder. He expanded into fast food memorabilia, then focused on McDonald's when Allure Setter got its first location in 1990. Friends and family helped him acquire foreign items while traveling. The collection now spans Happy Meal toys, employee uniforms, signs, menus, packaging, mascot costumes, and condiment packets. What began with one small object became more than 80,000 items by 2025. More than 40,000 pieces remain in storage because Lee displays a toy only when he has its complete set. That rule makes the museum's visible collection only part of what he has gathered. Christchurch's former Regent Theatre had an apartment built inside its dome. It stood at Worcester Street and Cathedral Square. Designed by brothers Sydney and Alfred Luttrell, it opened in 1905 as the Royal Exchange Building. Shops, offices, and warehouse space filled it. In 1930, an interior redesign added a cinema while leaving the exterior unchanged. The building then became known as the Regent Theatre, turning a commercial building into an entertainment venue. A 1979 fire destroyed the interior, but the theater reopened 2 years later with 2 screening rooms. Later renovations expanded its uses. Multiple cinema screens occupied the top floor while offices and shops filled other areas. At some point, an apartment was built inside the dome. The 2010 and 2011 Christchurch earthquakes damaged the building beyond repair, leading to demolition. Later, the former building's dome was located on a residential property in Linwood. Glasgow's 2026 Commonwealth Games mascot is a unicorn with a traffic cone for a horn. That makes the mascot's most noticeable feature a piece of Glasgow street imagery. The unicorn is Scotland's national animal. Her name, Finnie, comes from Glasgow's Finnieston crane. Her name also points to Glasgow's industrial skyline. The cone points to Glasgow's local tradition of placing one on the Duke of Wellington statue outside the Gallery of Modern Art. It turns a familiar local gesture into official international sports design. Finnie was shaped with input from 76 children across 24 Glasgow schools known as the Mascot Makers. The children were called the Mascot Makers. Her shoes reference shipbuilding. Her purple mane references the Hydro, while stars recall the Barrowland Ballroom. Her tartan carries blue, pink, and purple threads. An earring draws on Glasgow's coat of arms, and the Mascot Makers made her friendship bracelet. Felix Mendelssohn revised Rondo Capriccioso after a 17-year-old pianist ordered him to under threat of one disgrace or another. Mendelssohn was a German composer, pianist, organist, and conductor of the early Romantic era. He was recognized as a musical prodigy and began piano lessons at 6. His early output matched that reputation. A piano quartet was published when he was 13, and at 15 he wrote a full symphony for orchestra, both before he was 16. Those achievements make the reported exchange striking, but they do not explain the pianist's identity or motive. The known action is simple: the teenager demanded a revision. Mendelssohn therefore changed Rondo Capriccioso after receiving that command. The surviving account gives no exact passage or response, only a younger pianist pressing a celebrated composer to alter his work. The source does not identify whether the change affected melody, form, or accompaniment. Mary Jo Copeland began by handing out food and clothing from her car's trunk, and later received America's second-highest civilian honor. After overcoming addiction in 1982, Copeland volunteered at Catholic Charities. That experience put her close to people needing practical help. She became frustrated with paperwork and bureaucracy, so she started bringing food and clothing directly to people in need. Her car became the starting point for a more direct operation. In 1985, a local television station gave her a $2,500 grant. By 1987, about 500 people were fed daily and 600 to 700 on weekends. Around 300 volunteers helped run the growing effort. Together, they served more than 10,000 lunches each month. The operation had moved far beyond one car trunk. That effort became Sharing and Caring Hands, which expanded its services for people experiencing poverty and homelessness. In 2013, Barack Obama awarded Copeland the Presidential Citizens Medal for that work in Minnesota.